Hello everyone, it's been Cool Boys Comics and welcome back to another video. This video is really special. It's gonna be the Oryx guide. I've been really wanting to do this for a while and really busting to do this. I decided, my channel's 2 years birthday coming up. I might as well save it for then. Oryx's castle doesn't have a portal because you naturally spawn there. This is how it basically goes. You start from one of the 4 starting areas, and then you just break a few blocks up, encountering certain enemies. You'll get there later, and then you'll make it to the hallways where you can break the statues, where you can get to Janice. We'll also get onto that later. Until you get it to I think that's the courtyard. And after you make it through there, you'll go kind of up a way to the Guardians, and if everyone did the statue thing, some people can do Janice. But we'll get into that later. Now let's talk about the enemies, and there's few that are pretty annoying. And so this is the Brute. It's basically the Knight's worst nightmare. This man's got 7,000 HP, 30 defense, and 600 XP. Nothing out of the ordinary. But it's got an arm breaking 65 damage, circle attack, semicircle attack. And it's also got a bullet and another small crescent attack, doing 55 and 60 damage. But the thing is, he charges those shots at you. So you're not taking just those 3 shots, you're going to be taking all that times 10. And it's pretty fatal, especially the knife. And it's one story of art, so you'll also get that info later. So you can drop 2 weapons, 3 range and 4 range, pretty good. So, in pots if you're lucky, or if you're really lucky, Ringo, Page, and Favor. Next is my personal favorite, the Commander Oryx. He kind of reminds me of Dr. Octopus. 3,500 HP, and it's got a white present with 65 damage and 80 damage bomb. Looks like, wow, this guy's easy, but no. He spawns these guys called insect minions, and not just a few of them, but at least 30 of them per commander. First of all, they have a pretty decently high 500 HP and 10 defense. And they have 55 damage and 60 damage. Now, let's stop and think about this. Let's just say you're a wizard or a priest or another class that has pretty low defense. And then you're just doing the Oryx, but then you run to a commander and you thought, oh, this will be easy. Spawns a bunch of these guys. And at least 20, 60 damage bullets. I'm good at math, so 1200 HP attacking you at once. On the bright side, you get tier 8 weapons, stand increase pots, and another ring of Page and Favor. We now got my man, the Knight of Oryx. 2,500 HP and 20 defense. He just has a pretty small slash attack that's pretty fast. It just slows you for 3 seconds, so does 55 damage. He also somehow leaves behind these big 100 damage circles, 60 damage black crescents, and 55 damage bullets. Nice. And he doesn't drop anything cool like the others. This is the pet of Oryx. It comes from, the Knight. He's only got 750 HP and 15 defense. Also leaves behind smaller 60 damage bullets. And here we got the Warrior. 1,500 HP but 20 defense. And he shoots the black 60 damage and 45 damage shots. Okay, so now we got over pretty much the basics, but we're going to get a little more detailed. When you're going to break down the wall, you're going to be greeted by this guy called the Oryx's Living Floor, which is like those doorbells you see at the Halloween store. 2,600 HP and 0 defense. Also, if you get hit by one of these, you're going to get quiet for 5 seconds, weaken for 5 seconds. And I know it's only for 5 seconds, but trust me, it feels like 20 minutes. Well, not that long, but still feels like a long time. But those not only come from it. No, Deca really hates us. Because you know why? We have the quiet bomb. Because the quiet bomb can get you like from so far away. And it's just so annoying. Another thing to keep in mind is when you get to the courtyard and you're going, like you're between the courtyard and the guardians, you'll be greeted by haunted armors. The haunted armors have 3,000 HP and 20 defense. And they can kind of like jump you with with a bunch of 65 damage bullets, but they also are a little nice and have one that only does one. And they do nothing. Duh. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to be talking about is the haunted armor. What they really do is just stand there. The no defense, 4,000 HP, and give 200 XP. That's fine with me because give a skill when I'm a low level and then Oryx comes. So, and also they only give you potions, wine, or if you're lucky, then a anointed robe. Yeah, whatever. Now we're going to be talking about the bosses, the Stone Guardians. This is how these guys work. Well, what they do is that when you spawn in, people usually go for the blue one, but still try to find to go for the red one first. And then the blue one, it just does 3 phases of charging, spinning around, all that. But then the red one, it spawns a sword that just does a lot of damage. We'll get into that. So they have 45,000 HP each and 80 defense. They have bolts to do 115 damage, 150 damage, 70 damage, and 50 damage. For the red one. And for the purple one, it does practically the same thing. But they're not the ones who do damage. Because I've seen 8/8s get killed by the Stone Guardian sword. This thing has 20,000 HP and 40 defense. And it just shoots out like multiple, like coming from every direction, 100 damage, and paralyze Z's, and grenades that do completely random now. Like those grenades can either one shot an 8/8 knight, or they could do 1 damage to a level 1 wizard. You just never know. But seriously, I've seen so many 8/8s die by sitting on this thing, so you shouldn't mess with it. Okay, so this is stuff you get from the Guardians. You get tier 7, 8, and 9 weapons, tier 4 abilities, tier 7, tier 8, tier 9 armors, tier 3 and 4 rings, tier 10 from the slime bags. You get tier 10 weapons and you also get wine cell incantations, so that's always a good thing, especially since you're in Oryx. You get a defense potion, better than doing a sewers, anointed robe, nice, then you also get an ass. I know it's ancient stone sword, but I like calling it NAS. I know other people call it. I think that's just a better name. Okay, but this is like the boss, because if you notice, like haunted armors, they're not just there for decoration to get lucky. No, if you destroy every single one of them, you get to unlock Janus the Doughboarded. I personally skip Janus, but you can do it. I think Janus is supposed to be those like theater faces. You know, the happy and sad things. By the way, it doesn't specify if it's a boy or girl, but I'm really going to call it a boy because that's just cooler. Starting out, 75,000 base HP and 20 defense. So basically just is his face. He has a bunch of keys surrounding him, and you got to destroy all the keys. After that, he just half of the room just starts flashing red, because that's where he's going to spawn a whole mountain of these armor-piercing 50 damage like crescents would be formed, and even boomeranging. And then after that, on the other 2 sides, it does the same thing. It either does that until he's dead, or until he respawns the keys who heal him back and do this phase over and over again. And I think he has a rage phase at the end. It's like where it's just like from every side there's gonna be boomerangs. It's not like fatal because there will be some gaps and stuff. But still, I think Janus is fun. I don't go to him much anymore, but still, Let's look at what you will get. By the way, this is what the keys look like. From the purple bag, you get the mark, which you can get for like a purple chest, tier 7 and 8 weapons, and 9. Tier 3 and 4 abilities, tier 7, 8, and 9 armors, and tier 4 rings. Cyan bags, you can get tier 10 and 11 weapons, tier 5 abilities, that's actually pretty nice. Tier 10 and 11 armors, and tier 12. Tier 5 rings, and of course the ink, which is nice. You can get an attack, a defense, or a vitality. God, if your mother doesn't really like you said, you're gonna get that lousy bit. You can also get the Fury one. That's actually I think that was my first orange bag. Was it the Pirate Cave hook or this? I think it was this. And the Spiteful Scrutin. I got that only once, and that was the only time I also got an ass in the same thing. And then I both died with them in Oryx. Heh, funny. By the way, that's what Janice looks to look like. That's just... And I actually was playing back then. I never remember Janice to look like that. But now, you killed you went through the entire castle. You're finally gonna meet and fight the face of Rama the Mad God, Oryx the Mad God. He's got 45,000 base HP and 60 defense. And to be honest, I think he has pretty cool phrases. Yeah, I think I like his tones like, be silent and enough. So he's got, like I said, probably didn't say 45,000 base HP, 60 defense. So basically this is how his phases work. There's multiple of them. Let's take a bunch of these like purple X. There's 2 first guaranteed phases. The first one, he just stands there taking the damage until he spawns his red dudes that look just like him. To like kind of block it, to be like royal guards or something. And then he does either some phases like you're getting surrounded and there's gonna be grenades everywhere. All these like starfish things are surrounding him. So like arm-piercing classes can't get through them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to go read over his attacks. 40 damage, 75 damage started, so easy for 5 seconds. 90 damage bullet, 280 damage, like, big icy bullet. 290 damage, like, shield thing. 160 damage ball, 90 damage blinding ball, 400 damage ball. Okay, that just sounded wrong, but 400 damage. That can one shot. Like, if you get hit by 2 of these, like, literally, 8 assassins can go down. Sorry, Timmy. Now, 1 damage required taking a weakening shot for 8 seconds. Very annoying. 120 damage white bullet, 210 giant weakening bullet, 100 damage weakening bullet, 120 damage bullet, 100 damage weakening for 8-second bullet, 100 damage weakening for 3-second bullet, 100 damage dazing star, 180 damage bullet, and 220 damage grenade. And if you get hit by a few of these, you are kind of dead. And these are all his, like, minions he spawns. But let's see what you're going to get from Oryx. So, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the Mark of Oryx, tier 9 weapons and armors, tier 4 abilities, tier 4 rings. You can get pet eggs. You can get from Cyan bags, tier 10 and 11 weapons, tier 10, 11, and 12 armors, tier 5 abilities, tier 5 rings, and Wine Cellar Incantation, which is just really convenient, especially no one else has it. You can get an attack and defense, which is way better than doing like a Sewers or a Puppet Master. You get the Ceremonial Merlet, which is like the tome to the priest set, like for the other STs. And the Cloak of the Mad God. Never got it before, but I think it looks interesting. But now, I decided to push myself and talk about one more thing. Yes, that's the Wine Cellar. This is what it's going to look like. At first I thought, yeah, like who cares? But if you like know the proper way, you can actually find some shortcuts to make things quite a bit faster and get a lot more soul damage in the start. And these are the enemies you're going to face. Firstly, we get the Aberrant of Oryx. Dude's got 1000 HP and 12 defense. I'm only going to mention my favorites, because otherwise this video is going to go on for too long. You can drop online per exhibition artist. This is my personal favorite, the Vintner of Oryx. And I think he's just some dude who wants to party and get drunk with you. 1500 HP and 80 defense. 18. So what did I tell you? He's nice to only do 50 damage and drunken you for 4 seconds. What a nice guy. But you know, none of these guys would exist if it was for the Henchman of Oryx. 3000 base HP, so he's literally, you can call him a mini boss. 25 defense. He's got 100 damage confusing shots, and if you get confused and you run into like a shotgun or some goo, you are dead. No doubt about that, you are dead. So you can get some decent stuff in the way, because if you're playing a low level character, you can get something to improve your soulbound odds a little bit. Now we're going to talk about the boss, Oryx the Mad God 2, which is basically the exact same as Oryx 1. Oryx 2 has about 4 phases. The first, I'd say 4. The first and last one, it's always going to be the first and last. In the first one, he's just got a bunch of minions surrounding him, but in the last one, he's on his own. He's just firing a bunch of stars that do a bunch of crazy damage and so many debuffing effects. If you get hit by a few of these, you're kind of screwed, bud. Another one of his phases, he's shooting a bunch of bullets with a bunch of red blobs and white stars, kind of like in a crisscross pattern. If you have enough priestess or paladins on you, you can actually do full soulbound on him. And I think that's amazing. Also, another one is he's firing a bunch of stars while being surrounded by red blobs. So nobody can get in and nobody can get out, really. And yeah, that's pretty annoying phase. But I like it when I'm on like an assassin or a priest or something, so I can still do my soulbound. I always find that nice. Another phase is that he shoots a bunch of these like yellow square things, and they explode on you, which can easily pop you. And in his final phase, and he just chases you, throwing a bunch of grenades and bullets. Well, let's see his attacks. 75,000 base HP and 60 defense. It's got 135 damage regular bullets. 160 damage slowing, 160 damage confusion, 160 damage blinding, just regular 160 damage. Star that can quiet you for 3 seconds, 240 damage like white bullet. Star that does 140 damage and quiets you for 3 seconds. A red star that does 120 damage. And that's like the yellow square I was talking about that does 250 damage and it bursts into a bunch of 100 damage armor ignoring shots. And when I talk to you about the red blob white star phase, that's what I'm talking about. 9 damage dazing. The chasing phase, he shoots out a bunch of those big bullets and 180 damage bullets behind him. And for the second and for the first, in his final phase, before he shoots all the attacks, he shoots out the quiet and weaken for 15 seconds and 10-second one. That's just so annoying. 200 damage bombs and 250 damage bombs. Really hard to get hit by it. It's really, really annoying. Slowing for 3 seconds and just 180 damage, like particles. And yeah, let's see your loot. You're going to be getting tier 10, tier 11, and tier 12 weapons. And usually you can sell them for like 1 or 2 life. But according to the current state of RotMG stock market, my video, the value of life has went down so much. I think now you can sell this for like 4 or 5 life now. I'd get tier 11, 12, and 13 armors, tier 5 and 6 abilities, tier 5 rings because tier 6 rings comes in red bags. Get potions of attack, defense, vitality, and if your father is really not happy with you, like your papa wants to spank you, you're gonna get a wisdom. Also, you get the Oryx option set. I'm not sure if it's still called that, but I like that name. Your Oryx's great sword, champion's bastion, Mercy's Bane, and Bloodstone Ring. And you got something that I didn't get too long ago, Tome of Holy Furor. Well, that's it. I would have done an Oryx 3, but 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm too tired because it's late at night. And number 2, I already made a video. And yeah, you can go check that video out. So thank you all so much for watching. If you made this far into the video, please comment happy birthday for my channel. I'm pretty sure Timmy will like that a lot. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment what you want to see next. My name is The Cool Boys Comics, and if you're a nerd, get out of here. Bye.